Welcome everyone to yet another chess video. Today's video is about a game that was played between the great American chess player Paul Morphy and two European aristocrats during the 19th century. This game was played at an opera house, that's why this is known as the opera game, and it is a really great game and undoubtedly the most famous games to be played ever. This game is very simple yet complex, and it covers almost all the basics that a beginner chess player should know about. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. So Paul Morphy is white in this position and the two European aristocrats are black. White opens with e4 and black replies with e5, knight to f3 and d6. This is known as the Philidor defense. The most common way to play in this position is by playing knight to c6, which sort of branches out into two main positions, that is Italian opening and the Spanish opening. But okay, d6 is not the worst defenses out there. So white breaks in the center with d4, and after bishop to g4, which pins the knight to the queen, white plays d takes on e5 and black does not take on e5 again, because that would lead to a queen exchange, and after the king takes on d8, the knight can have the free pawn on e5 and the bishop is also hanging and the f7 pawn is also under a huge attack. So rather than going into that sort of variation, black first takes on f3, queen takes on f3, and now d takes on e5. And here white develops its bishop to c4. And this is a very nasty threat that is threatening checkmate on the weak f7 square. But of course black sees it and black plays knight to f6 to avoid the checkmate. But here white maneuvers its queen to b3. And this move attacks two pawns, first the b7 pawn and second the f7 pawn. And you guys can sort of try to find out which pawn should black defend here. The correct answer is of course f7, because let's say if black protects its b6 pawn, then bishop takes on f7 check, king to e7, and then queen to e6 would be checkmate. So black has to protect its f7 pawn, and black does so by playing queen to e7. And okay, white can have this b7 pawn, but after queen takes on b7, black has this move queen to b4 check, and now the queens have to be exchanged. And Paul Morphy does not want that. He wants the attack to continue, so he just calmly places his knight to c3, and now there is no threat of queen to b4, and black has to protect its b7 pawn, and black does that by playing c6. And okay, white continues with its attacking moves, and Paul Morphy plays bishop to g5, pinning this knight to the queen, and now black advances its another pawn, that is b5, and this bishop is really short of good squares. So let's see what Morphy does. Morphy takes on b5, and after c takes on b5, bishop takes on c5, and here the king is under check, so knight goes to d7, and here white long castles. And there is a really huge attack on this d7 square, because we need to remember that this knight is also pinned. So actually there is a threat of playing bishop takes on d7 on the very next move. Black avoids that by playing rook to d8, and here you guys can find a really nice move. Most of the people would think that bishop to d7 check is the best move, but here actually Paul Morphy first takes with the rook, and after rook takes, white again plays its rook to d1. And the whole point of this sequence is that this main piece that pins this d7 square to the king is still intact. That's why Paul Morphy took with the rook instead of taking with the bishop. Now in this position, this knight is pinned, and if black can unpin this knight, it would be really easy for black to defend this d7 square. Now black does exactly that by playing queen to d6, and also black is threatening queen exchange, because we need to remember that at the end of the day black is up 3 points of material, and if black can develop its bishop and rook out of the game, then black is at the end of the day winning. So let's see what Paul Morphy does here. First of all, Paul Morphy takes on d7 with check, and black takes with the knight as we unpinned this knight from the queen. And at this point it looks like Paul Morphy is completely lost, and black has sort of gotten out of that attack, and now it's Duke of Karl and Count of Isward who have the upper hand here. But here there's a really good checkmating sequence for white, and I will give you guys a couple of seconds to find that sequence out. And the correct sequence here is queen to b8 check. If you guys see, black's king does not have anywhere to go. Black has to take this queen with the knight on b8, and after knight takes on b8, the rook goes all the way down to d8, and that is actually checkmate, supported by this bishop. And that's why this game is one of the best chess games to be ever played, because it covers all the basics that a beginner chess player needs to know about. It covers a queen sacrifice as well as quick development, as well as material sacrifice such as the knight sacrifice on b5. So this is really one of my favorite games, and I think every chess player should know this game by heart. So if you guys like this video, do subscribe, comment down below, and share this video with everyone you know.